A smart person is the one who learns from others' mistakes. This is a very different video which I am recording where I want to share with you my experience and the mistakes which I have committed during my investing journey so that you don't repeat the same mistakes and hurt your portfolio. So learning in the market is never ending. Market is the ultimate guru, and the day you feel that you know everything, market in its own way makes you humble. So in this short video, I will share with you 5 the biggest mistakes that I've committed in my investing journey and my learnings from these mistakes. So the first one which I'm going to talk about is selling the winners early and holding on to the losers for a long period of time. So whenever a stock gives good returns in your portfolio, you have that urge of selling it and bringing home those profits. And whenever something falls, you don't have an option but to hold it till it comes back to your cost. So both these acts of selling early and holding on to your winners for a longer period of time hurt the portfolio returns in their own ways. The fact that a stock has moved up and giving you good returns is a sign that you have made the right decision of choosing the right company. So when you've already made a right decision, you should allow the stock to compound, give the promoters time to perform so that it adds substantial returns to your portfolio. There are different situations in which we may need cash. We may need it for investing in other stocks. We may like to generate cash whenever the market is weak and you want to keep some cash for safety. When you want to invest in other assets, so whenever you need cash for any reason, the biggest mistake you do is by selling your winners. I always used to think that the stocks have given good returns in my early days of investing, and I used to sell the winners which have already moved up to generate cash. So that was the biggest mistake that I committed because by selling the winners, only losers remain in your portfolio. So whenever you want to generate cash for any reason, always sell the weakest stock in your portfolio. The stock where you have the least conviction, the stock which you feel will not go up, the stock where the results are weak, the stock where the sector is facing headwinds. So look for these signs and sell the weakest stock in your portfolio no matter at what price it is. The market doesn't know your cost price. The market works on the basis of earnings of the companies. So for taking a buy or sell decision, have an independent view, ignore the cost at which you have bought the stock, do what is right for your portfolio at that point of time. Think from this perspective. If you were given a chance to buy this stock afresh, would you buy it at that point of time? If the answer is no, then that stock doesn't deserve to be in your portfolio. So take decisions like this, and whenever you need cash, sell the weakest link in your portfolio and leave the strongest links inside the portfolio itself. As they say, cut your weeds and water your flowers, and don't take investment decisions emotionally. The second mistake that I committed was by restricting the universe of my targeted stocks. I've learned a lot by watching interviews of veteran investors. And in my early days, I have heard them saying, I don't invest in PSU stocks. They never grow. They just pay dividends because there is no growth. Government employees don't have the motivation to work hard. So thus such kind of statements always discouraged me to invest in public sector enterprises. But as you know, in the last 3-4 years, PSUs have been the biggest wealth creators in the stock market. I always used to avoid commodity companies because they were cyclical. But cyclicality or volatility in the price is your friend, is not your enemy in the stock market. So if you understand why this business is cyclical, what makes the business have a downturn, what are the signs of the cycle getting bottoming out, and what are the signs of recovery, you can play the cyclical stocks very well. I sometimes believe that only micro-cap companies can yield higher returns, but the returns in a particular stock are not linked to the size of the business. It is more dependent on how fast a company grows, how better the margins expand, and how fast the re-rating of the multiple happens. It doesn't depend on whether it's a 100 crore revenue company or a 1000 crore revenue company. A 100 crore revenue company growing at 20% will give you lower returns than a 1000 crore company growing at 40%. So don't try to restrict your universe of stocks. Try to increase your circle of competence. It is good to invest within your circle of competence, but your circle of competence has to expand every year, every month. So keep learning and try to cover maximum number of stocks in your universe while stock picking, because different sectors move in different cycles. So when the consisting compounders are at a particular level, you'll find some opportunity in some cyclical stock or some sector which is most ignored by the audience, and you can pick it up only if it is there within your universe of stocks. So never say never in investing. The best opportunity could be the one which you have always ignored. The third mistake which I have committed is I believed the managements blindly sometimes. So whenever some management is giving you a guidance, use your intelligence, do some research about the company, about the sector, about the competitors, and see whether what the guidance they are giving is practically possible or not. See what is the total demand in that sector, see what is total production in the sector, see whether there is a demand supply gap, see whether there are sector tailwinds or not. See what the competitors are saying. Are they also bullish? Are they bearish? Are they positive about their business? Are they talking of a slowdown in the industry? So verify the guidance given by the management instead of believing them blindly. So trust but verify. The fourth mistake which I sometimes commit is buying overvalued stocks. So there's a difference between a great company and a great stock. A great company may be a great business, fundamentally strong, a monopoly, and everything may be good about the company. But if you're not buying it at the right price, it is not the good stock or it is not the best stock. So, as an investor, you should clearly differentiate between a great company and a great stock. And what your duty is as an investor is to buy great stocks for your portfolio. Whenever I speak to people, a lot of times there is a debate wherein they talk great about a company. And when I say it is not a suitable investment at this point of time, they don't like it. Then they realize that a lot of times buying great companies do not yield them good returns for a long period of time and the stocks remain in consolidation. That is why, because you bought them at the wrong valuation. So sometimes I made this mistake of misjudging the valuations of particular companies. You should always compare the valuations of a company with its historical valuations, the valuations with other peers in the industry. Judge the valuations in the context of growth which is coming in the next couple of years, the possibility of expansion in profit margin. Look at valuations from different perspectives like earnings, book value, and then form a holistic view whether the valuations are reasonable or not. A great company is not a great investment if you pay too much for it. The last mistake which I want to talk about is one where I invested just because the business was good and the promoters was very hardworking. Let me tell you, there are two things which you should look at from a management perspective or a promoter's perspective. The first thing is the ethics or the hard work of the promoter. But the second thing, which is more important, is the efficiency or capability of the promoter. Just being hardworking is not enough. Working 20 hours a day is not enough. Sleeping in the factory, working day or night is not enough. The promoter should be wise enough to grow the business, work smartly, understand the financials, understand how efficiently he can manage working capital, how he can gain market share, how he can scale the business. Just hard work is not enough. Appreciating the promoter, sympathizing with him is one thing, but you can't put your hard earned money in a business just because the promoter is a hard working guy. So you don't want to invest in a horse that's running hard but in the wrong direction. So not just hard work is enough, efficiency and capability of the promoter to scale the business to the next level is very much required for you as an investor. So these are the 5 mistakes I thought I can share with you, which can help you a lot in your investing journey. I am sure when you avoid these mistakes, the returns will be much higher in your portfolio and you will do very well as an investor. Thanks for watching the video. If you are not a part of a Telegram channel, do join today by clicking the link in the description so that you join the correct Telegram channel. And if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, do subscribe to the channel, and I will keep bringing such interesting insights and share my learnings with you in the coming videos as well. Have a great day.